The Boeing 747s, one of the busiest and one of the longest aircrafts that was made for all community passengers, and a lot of these airlines which were really successful. It was made during 1942 after the World War I. So you might guys have rode on these before, or you might have heard these before. The Boeing 747 has a very big nose, a long body, 4 engines, means 2 engines on one wing and the 2 engines to the other, and it's pretty loud, which is kind of embarrassing, but at the same time it looks more better when you record or take a picture of it. But these Boeing 747s were not staying that longer until in 1977 there was a very worst tragedy. So this might change the Boeing 747's fanners' life forever. This is the story of the Tenerife Runway Air Disaster. The Canary Islands, where they have 3 islands with them, and one of the beautiful islands are Santa Cruz de Tenerife Island. Or most Americans say Tenerife. Well, you can call them as a tourist island where there's so many Spanish people or other tourists come. Which has Tenerife Los Rodeos International Airport, which is the busiest airport in Tenerife. And today is March 27, 1957. And one of them is going to the Las Palmas, which is the Pan Am 1736. But they cannot go there because the KLM 4805 had stopped to refuel because it needs some more jet fuel to take a takeoff. The KLM finished refilling up and went to the taxiway. Same with the Pan Am. First Officer Bragg was not familiar with this airport, and they couldn't taxi it properly because they were kind of foggy to look at it. Since the Pan Am air pilots were kind of unfamiliar from this airport, they ended up looking at the diagram, how do they even taxiway. The radio tower or the airport tower told the Pan Am crew this message. Listen to the radio from the airport tower and the Pan Am crew.
You are clear to the Papa Beacon. Climb 2 and maintain flight level 90. Right turn after takeoff.
Soon the KLM said something.
Roger, clear to the Papa Beacon. Flight level 90, right turn up. We are now at takeoff.
Okay, stand by for takeoff. I will call you.
The Pan Am crew were kind of confused from what the KLM and the airport tower were saying. So they said they were also going to the taxiway too, just like the KLM were going. Listen to the radio once again.
And we're still taxiing down the runway, Clipper 1736.
Papa Alpha 1736, report runway clear.
Okay, we'll report when we're clear.
Thank you.
The Pan Am runway was a few more yards to go. Then they saw something shocking. They saw that the KLM 4805 started to come really close to the Pan Am, where it was going to the taxiway. They tried to get off by doing high thrust, but it didn't work because it was too slow. The passengers started to scream and were thinking what was going on. Captain Brooks steered the entire high thrust just to make it go to the ground. But it was too late for them because the KLM was going 200 miles per hour to the runway, and which means maybe the KLM might hit 2 or 20 seconds to the Pan Am, and the Pan Am would be devastated. The KLM pilots couldn't do anything to stop the plane, so they have made it an idea. So what do? They would just lift up the plane underneath the runway and then it would fly. It was too little late, and these were the final words.
Get off, get off, get off! Get off, get off, get off!
Then KLM 4805 had crashed on the top rear of the Pan Am 1736. The KLM got completely destroyed after it hit the Pan Am. While the Pan Am was still going and it was stopped once it got off the runway. But something worse happened. When it stopped, when all the passengers got out, something terrible happened. Pan Am 1736 later got exploded when the engine number 1 or engine number 2 was explode when it stopped, and the total of this became one of the first worst air disasters on aviation history. But and everyone started to feel bad and because of this all the flights have to be delayed for that. But then there was a question like this: how could this entire accident can occur like this, and why? Well, the investigation was founded by the Spanish authorities, Pan Am, and KLM. But before the investigation was started by the Spanish authorities, KLM Airlines, and Pan Am Airlines, there were three survivors which wants to answer the question. Basically, there was the first one who said, like, one person said the one of the KLM pilots want to commit suicide. So basically, saying about suicide, some KLM pilots were thinking like, is it true? But I believe that this question was wrong from that person who have answered that the KLM pilots have committed suicide. So the first person was wrong. Now the second person said that the KLM pilots and the Pan Am pilots didn't know what was the air traffic control. The second person was right on this investigation. The pilots of the KLM and the Pan Am were confused from the air traffic control, and it was too foggy during the takeoff for the KLM and during the taxiway of the Pan Am. So because of this, the the person who got it correct got a check mark, and the investigation was finished. In the end, KLM 4805, which is named as Ryan, and Pan Am 1736, also named as Clipper Victor, was damaged beyond repair and scrapped. Tenerife Los Rodeos International Airport runways was cleaned up, and all the flights could go again in after a month later. And KLM and Pan Am have to pay the airport $1.3 million for all damages and cleanup. 43 years have passed since this incident. Despite all these changes happened to these Boeing 747s, still there's so many accidents occurring due to technical issues, pilot error, all sort of problems happening to pilots and for the Boeing 747s. As an example, like Transworld Airlines Flight 800, some reason it was exploded in the air and the entire airplane completely exploded and destroyed, which killed a lot of people. Or maybe the Pan Am Airlines Flight 103 was also exploded just like the TWA 800, but some reason it exploded and turned into 4 pieces, which caused it to uh, land in Switzerland, in a hometown. What about the China Airlines Flight 611? Didn't explode, but the tail came off out of nowhere when and landed in the Atlantic Ocean into 4 pieces, just like Pan Am 103. And there's a lot more Boeing 747 crashes happening in here, which causing a lot of crashes and whatsoever. Because of this, the Boeing 747s have some technical issues and there was something wrong. Because all these issues happened to the Boeing 747s, Qantas Airlines have retired the last Boeing 747, which caused the Boeing 747s to land on Los Angeles Boneyard and have to be left there as a retirement. Don't worry guys, the Boeing 747s are still there. The Tenerife Runway Air Disaster kind of reminds us a moral that we all hope that this accident will never happen again. Hey guys, my name is BNSFtrainfan 157. Yes, this is the end of this video. I'm so sorry that this video took so long. There were basically some planning to do and I have to credit all of them. So basically this video is basically copyrighted. And you will be and I know the every documentaries I should add simulations. Well, I did one, but there was some problems. So basically, the simulation was mostly from Airport Tycoon and Roblox. My sister was basically recording, and she was when we were ready to get it in my phone, there was a problem. So once I was trying to get it, and I was putting my phone when I was trying to test playing it and it didn't work. Then my sister sent me in Discord, still nothing. So that's why I have to take some videos. So I'm so sorry if I copyrighted them. I didn't mean to do it, but because I basically need those videos because the simulation was a big failure. And thank you so much for watching this video. It took me a lot of effort for it and it took me 270 plus hours to do it, and it was a very long time, I know. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And also thank you for 40 subscribers. It means a lot to me. See ya.